It's day 338.
of the 29th year and beyond.
Well, on yesterday, while I was taking a nap,
Dun, 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 dun.
my wife felt so compelled to share a message without me, but about me. Talking about a steady love. And I just want you to know that was just a real blessing when I got a chance to awaken me.
Yeah. From the coma and sleep that he was in.
And to see what you posted, steady love. That was just it was just very, very heartwarming.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you. But I got to thinking about that, and I responded to that yesterday evening with a post. Um, because the reality is this: you talk about the steady love and me being, consistent and having the assurance how much I love you and whatnot. And as I stated in the post yesterday, it's because it's not one-sided. It's not because, but I mean, it's easy to have a steady love when it's not one-sided. I mean, there are a lot of situations where people find themselves where they are really driving the relationship, or maybe they're the only ones that's really operating out of love in and of themselves,
Right.
but trying to make a marriage work. And that's like, Sisyphus, constantly trying to push that boulder up the hill.
Right. That's true.
But when it is reciprocal, it definitely affords an opportunity for it to be so much more effortless.
It does. And when I thought about a steady love after I had made the post, I started thinking about components of a steady love. You know, and she speaks about a lot of different things in the song in terms of how much he loves her and what he brings and how he comforts her and how she doesn't feel like she has to be the boss at home. She can just be that girl but so much more goes into it in addition to that of a steady love. They say slow and steady wins the race.
Right.
And truly that is what...
Would you be the tortoise or would I be the hare?
I think I would be the tortoise. Well, okay, you might be the tortoise now.
I'll take that. But
But
slow and steady.
yeah, slow and steady wins the race. And I started thinking about that, because it really is about being slow and steady. Because if you're flying through something really quickly, and I thought about this, when we go home every time, we're really moving fast. But this time we were on a more leisurely time, and I saw so much more because it was a slower kind of pace.
You can really have an opportunity to experience so much more, and like you say, observe so much more when you're not going at a breakneck speed.
Yeah.
And in a love relationship, it does benefit you when you can be fully present in the moment and when you're not flying from thing to thing or rushing from place to place, because you do get to take it all in. I mean, there's so much, I think, on any given day that we miss in the busyness of our life and in the busyness of relationships. But that steady love. Now, I had never heard that song before, and I really enjoy NDRE,
Right.
but I wasn't familiar with that song. But you have to be intentional about having that steady love as
Right.
well. I mean, it doesn't happen just by osmosis.
It doesn't. It really doesn't. Because she talks about, him being, out on the streets and being strong, and then the king in the sheets, and when you think about that, when you think about your love-making experience, which is better, the quick one or the one that lingers and lasts for a while? And that's a steady love. That's not that just hit it and get it kind of thing. You can do that, when you were a kid, when you were young, when you first started out or whatever. That's what it was like. But now it should be a steady kind of love. And, you mature into that. You know what I mean?
Well, and again, with everything, being able to take your time, being able to really enjoy, and because intimacy is not a rushed thing.
No, it isn't.
And when we talk about intimacy, I'm talking about from a sexual perspective, but also from an emotional perspective.
Right.
Intimacy requires time because it requires you being able to know one another and then building that trust with one another.
Exactly.
And so that you feel comfortable with that blind fall with one another.
Right.
Knowing that your spouse is going to be there to be able to catch you. Being that safe place to land.
That's right.
Yeah. So, just wanted to once again thank you but also let everyone know that having a steady love is so valuable, but it's so much more effortless when it's not one of you, when it's both of you.
That's right.
Until tomorrow, if the Lord says the same.
Bye.